away. I called out your name. It was at that very moment I knew I would not be the same. You left me broken all alone, and now you will not pick up your phone. Did you think that would get me feeling down? No, that made me drive all around that old small town. Did you think I would drown in your pain? Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. As you drove on by that old glowing neon sign, you see me walking in with someone new. You thought you left me broken and alone, waiting for me to pick up that damn phone. Did you think I would move on? It was a new day you left for me tomorrow. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long.
Good morning. Hey, Mark, small town girl, snow angel. How are you guys? I hope your Christmas was good. Rachel, I hope you had a great Christmas as well. Mine was kind of boring and lame. My kids were all busy visiting people, and we had dinner and opened gifts and did the normals. Um, so this morning, what I want to start with, let me close that out. Killer Looks shared something I've been wanting to share for a very long time and kind of forgot about it. There was a phone call placed to Dolly, I'd say about 2 years ago, from somebody who claimed to be Candus's cousin. I want to give it a listen, and then I'm going to go over some information about Earl Pumpkin Taylor.
Dolly.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Hey, I was just calling to tell you, I've never watched your show before. Thank you for keeping Summer's name out there. But we don't agree with anything you guys are saying as far as Summer goes. This is not the first time Candus has had a kid go missing. Her older daughter, Candy, went missing in foster care. And we put flyers out then, and then Summer came missing. But we, honest to God, don't believe that they're responsible for this. We think it's a mistaken identity.
This person's claiming to be Candus's cousin. She says when the oldest daughter who was placed up for adoption and foster home, went missing. They had reached out to Candus and to her family, and they had to put fires out.
That the people they were hanging out with were actually the targets and not the Wells and not Summer. And everything people are saying is driving us nuts because has nothing to do with Summer.
I'm lost. Like, I just got sucked into a parallel universe or something. You lost me. Like, okay, what?
What? All right, Candus had 2 children removed.
Yeah,
before
okay, but
okay.
I know that one daughter had ran away from foster care for a little bit, but
she did. And
it wasn't nothing to do with Candus, right?
It had nothing to do with Candus.
Yeah, okay.
We were still, as a family, looking for her, and it had nothing to do with it. And before that, our cousin Rose went missing, and then Candus's older daughter went missing.
Okay,
and then
wait, you keep saying we. Are you kin to the Wells?
I am.
Okay, who are you first? We know who we're talking to.
I'm her cousin.
Is your name just Cousin? Do you got a name?
Well, we'll just go with Cuz.
Cuz. All right, Cuz.
Yeah. All right, Cuz.
You on that bullshit?
No. This has all been turned into the
That's
TBI.
that bullshit.
No, I'm not talking bullshit. No, I'm not.
Okay.
This has all been turned into TBI. No. So we've had people go missing before on that side of the family where we've gone up in arms looking for children, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden Summer goes missing. We're like, what the hell is going on over here? You got 2 kids missing from the same mom. But the word on the street, because we still have kin there, the word on the street, this Summer was not the intended target there. This has nothing to do with them.
So somebody wanted to kidnap somebody, but they didn't want to kidnap Summer. But when they got there,
no. Let me lay it down for you. Okay, you can investigate those too. You can, as I speak.
Okay, I'm gonna look up see if they have a cousin named Cuz first. That's gonna be
listen.
First step.
Look up a dude named Spider. Okay,
all right.
He was arrested at 2:00 in the morning the day Summer went missing.
Okay,
and he was.
Yesterday, I came live briefly, and I let you read all my messages between me and Karen Renfro. The problem is that all the messages didn't mean nothing to what I was going to cover, which is this. There was a slide at the end of the messages that meant something. Now, I got this message prior to this lady going on Dolly's. This is from Karen Renfro to me. Good morning, Mama Bear. Good morning, Marie. But this collaborates what that woman was saying on the phone with Dolly, which is why I think there's more to this. This is Karen Renfro speaking about Marlena Crawford. They was squatting, even at Light Cemetery, and over towards the Rock House. But then her old man went to jail and left her and her brother. Marlena runs with a rough crowd. She is homeless and on meth. And her brother Ricky. But I guess you ain't surprised. Last I heard, they were over on Horton Highway. Remember when Dawn Wells drove to the backside of Chimney Top? That was weeks ago. So Marlena was staying up on Chimney Top where the black Ford Ranger was that Jeremy Pell had spoken about. I believe Karen Elliott was hiding up on Chimney Top Loop or associates with the people up there since her and Julie were driving the truck at the time because Fred was in jail. I know Crystal and Linda used to be married to Rick Hill, my niece's dad. Now, I brought that out. Rick is a relative to Fred. Miss Linda, Earl's Pizzifazio, Crystal Spencer, had told me she was living, not married to Rick Hill, in Greenville. Remember the runaway horse? It belonged to David Bass, but he sold it to one of Frank's brothers. Hold on. 30. Back in the day when my dad made moonshine and Lawson was starting out, supplied Hawkins County and Sullivan County. Don't quote me. I was just a squirt. She's telling me Lawson used to make moonshine. And he joined the illegal activities. Moonshine is called white lightnings. I was playing it, and my friend said that sounds like a boy I used to go to school with. Turns out I don't know what she was talking about. That Billy from the shed, they got the wrong Billy. It's Billy Benton, not Bill Shipley. He was married to Vicky Dykes, but now green-eyed dude Stevie Derrick is with Vicky now. But Stevie doesn't have a brother. Stevie Derrick is Spider. Spider is Marlena's husband. They're no longer together. No, I never hung out with Linda, but that's just the thing. Dog killed chicken, it's a dead dog. That's because Linda Pizzafazio told me about her dog being killed by TJ Crawford. Karen was responding to it. It's been about 15 years ago. As a matter of fact, it was Daniel Dyke's house, or just going up on that hill. Daniel has a brother. They fight chickens, but the drugs has overtook them. Daniel's mom and dad was in that group that got busted for pills, the 32 people. She also told me about Stanley Dykes, who was in jail for murder. We'll go through those messages later, but we were listening to Dolly, so that's why I wanted to show these. We can reread all of the messages later, but this is what stood out to me with Killer's video that he was sharing. Let me go put it back on.
He was in a drug deal. Okay, he was arrested a few miles down from their house, right in Rogersville, Tennessee. He was meeting three people from Virginia. They were coming up. Okay, and somebody called him an anonymous tip, and he was busted. It wasn't the Wells that called him in, but the people they were hanging out with called him in. You can look this up. His name's Steven, and he goes by Spider. June 15th. You look this up. I'm telling you the truth. They bust Spider.
Okay, his name is Steven, though.
Yeah.
And he was arrested June 15th.
Yep.
Of last
at
year.
2 o'clock in the morning. No.
You should also know I emailed Benny Keys yesterday, since he's so close to Karen Renfro, and asked him. He hasn't read my email or responded, but I did ask Benny, since him and Karen Renfro are so close, to ask Karen some questions about Spider. Let's see if she'll respond or he'll respond.
2 years ago.
2021, the day Summer went missing. I'm telling you. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. This is just like crazy. Nobody's listening to us. He was busted. He was meeting people from Virginia. Okay, the car load of 3 people. An anonymous tip called in. Spider had drugs on him. They busted him that morning. They were pissed off because it was intercepted. Okay, and it came back to 110 Ben Hill Road, but it was not the Wells who called it in. It was the Crawfords. And all of a sudden, Ricky gets killed the next day. I'm telling you, this is
which dude is Ricky?
Truth. Ricky's Marlena's brother.
She had the wrong person. Greenville police are seeking information from the public about circumstances of a Rogerville man's death earlier this month. Police received a call about 6 p.m. on June 16th about a body in Richland Creek behind the 100 block of Lemming Street. Earl M. Taylor, 36, was found deceased in the creek. The body was sent to William L. Jenkins Forensic Center at East Tennessee State University for an autopsy. Greenville police have not received preliminary autopsy results. Detective Captain Tim Davis said Thursday. Foul play is not suspected. Taylor was known to frequent the Greenville County areas, Davis said, but we're going to see a news article that says differently in a second. Authorities ask anyone with information about Taylor. It doesn't seem suspicious, but they're asking for information. That's kind of contradictory, ain't it? Authorities ask anyone with information about Taylor to contact Greenville Police Detective Eric Scott at 423, sorry, I gave you mine, 783-2851. Article number 1. Where am I? Oh, sorry. That was this article I was reading from the Times News, the Rogersville Review. Greenville police seek information about Rogerville man's death. Now we're going to share this tab. This is Greenville police identify victim found dead in creek. Greenville, Tennessee. Greenville police are searching for information after a man was found floating in a creek. According to a report released by department officers, were called to Richland Creek behind 103 Lemming Street on Wednesday, June 16th, around 6 p.m. Officers said they found 36-year-old Earl M. Taylor of Rogersville floating in the creek. Taylor's body was sent to W.L. Jenkins Forensic Center at ETSU for an autopsy. First, they tell you it doesn't look suspicious, but this report says the circumstances of Taylor's death are under investigation. Police said they do not believe foul play is suspected. Authorities are asking anyone who might have information about the incident to contact Greenville Detective Eric Scott at 423-783-2851. We're going to listen a little further, and then I have some other stuff to read, some messages that I had gotten from somebody who cares deeply for Earl Taylor. Since Ziggy wants to take all my research and claim it as hers, fuck you, you fucking cow.
I don't know where the fuck the bitch is now. I'd like to know, but I don't know because she wouldn't be there. No, she's all, it comes down to the Crawfords. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. The Crawfords were the intended target. It was not the Wells. And in our hearts and souls, we believe with every fiber.
Yeah, but did they have a daughter?
Journey. Her name's Journey.
Okay.
They sure did.
So these people that busted on Spider, that you saying this is a retaliation, and some people have
That's exactly what I'm saying. And the people that did it are in Rowan Mountain, Tennessee. And we turned this into the TBI, and nobody's listening to us. He puts on his Facebook, keep them stuck and still their children. And he's all into this Joshua, it's called the Isaiah House. He said, we steal their kids and homeschool them. And this guy's freaking nuts out of his mind on drugs because he's a drug dealer.
Well, people are saying Ricky Crawford is still alive, but I 100% believe the Crawfords are involved.
He's dead. He got drowned. Nope, he's not. He's dead. Nope, they killed him. He's dead. He's killed.
So
I'm telling you right now, that man's dead.
So you're saying they done went and got Summer because of this drug he got ratted on, snitching.
It wasn't them though.
Yeah, but it was mistaken. They came there thinking it was the Crawfords, and they ended up getting Summer, is what you're saying.
Honest to God, that's what we believe. And the only way.
Let me explain the relationship of Earl Taylor to you guys. Earl Taylor was married to Calesta Maddox. Calesta has kids to Earl Taylor. She cheated on Earl Taylor with Earl's cousin, Ricky Crawford. Ricky and Earl were still close. They didn't hate each other. They had some problems, but they were still cousins. I'm going to move on a little bit here. Let me close this out. Thank you. We're going to smoke in a minute too. I'm going to read this. This is messages between me and a person that's very close to Earl Taylor. These messages were written very early on in Summer's case. I'd say 2022. Thank you. It really means a lot that someone cares. Hey, I was just thinking, I believe Earl went to Calesta's the day before he was found. I don't know if Calesta and Ricky were together or split because at the time they were very back and forth. But that might explain why Clesta wouldn't do anything as far as arrangements or even after the grant paid for the cremation. She would pick up the ashes. From what I understand, the funeral home ended up having to deliver them to her. Also, I don't know for you to have tried speaking to her or not, but Earl has a sister named Loretta. She knows more about Clesta and Ricky than I do, so she may be able to help you also. However, at the time, Loretta was in prison. She was in jail. I couldn't speak to her. Or she had just gotten out of jail. Just a thought, and he was found behind Cecil's house, who was a friend of Earl's but claimed to not know him. A few days after Earl was found, he moved out. I believe the Lemming address was Cecil's address, and Earl was staying with Cecil, but when the police came, Cecil denied knowing Earl. Hey, I was just thinking, I believe Earl went to Clesta's the day before he was found. I don't know if Clesta and Ricky were together or split because at the time they were very back and forth, but that might explain why I made it bigger. So you can read it. Let's move on. It's just a copy of those messages. Just a thought, and he was found behind Cecil's house, who was a friend of Earl, but claimed to not know him. A few days after Earl was found, he moved out. She was in jail till recently, so might try again. I know she wants answers as much as I do. That's Loretta. I don't remember, but if you put in body found in creeks, it should pop up. I just happened to come across it by accident one day. If you can find any information, please let me know. Thank you so much for trying to help. It's nice to know someone cares about these people and families. I don't feel like the legal system is taking it serious enough. Thank you. Thank you. It really means a lot that someone cares. I don't know. There's a lot that just don't make sense to me around the whole thing. I do believe he was killed, but they won't even give a cause of death because it's an open investigation. It haunts me not knowing what happened. I feel like I'm the past couple years, a lot of people have went missing or been found dead with no answers. I don't know if there was a connection or not, but I do know there were at least 2 others found in creeks, and there have been a couple other kids that have went missing. I don't understand why there aren't more answers. With Earl, he was found in the middle of the town, less than 2 miles from the courthouse. There were businesses everywhere with cameras. Why can't they not just look at the video of who was there? And there are only 4 houses on that road. It was in the middle of the night. I don't understand why they can't find who done it. Bad blood between who? I'm sorry, I didn't see this. I was just going through my messages and came across this. I asked, was there bad blood between Ricky and Earl over Clesta? Just curious. I'm so sorry if I'm hitting a sore spot. Well, they never really got along, but Ricky was Earl's cousin, so they didn't hate each other than they just kind of went their own ways, and it wasn't any more or less when Earl was killed, if that's what you're asking. You're okay. The wounds never close. He's always on my mind. I miss him so much. But I do feel like they are related somehow. If not Earl, I feel like one would be responsible for kids and the other for people being found. That's just my opinion. Let me come back to chat. My guy got a sister in Rome Mountain where they might have been. Hi, Django. Yes, the father passed away in 2022. Rick Crawford. All right, let's put Killer back on.
The way it makes sense, if you listen to me, is her timeline is a lie. That's a big fat lie. But the Wells, I'm telling you, Donnie and Candus are innocent as can be. They didn't do it. This is like, if you look at their timeline, her timeline doesn't make sense because it's not true. Her timeline, she left the home, and Grandma, or you can call her Grandis or whatever the fuck you want, we call her Candy. Candy was there, and she was sleeping. and the boys were supposed to be in charge of the home, and Candus left.
Where did
She
Candus
left.
go? Cuz.
Well, you want to know the truth? She went to take Hunter home. She was taking Hunter home. She was there with Hunter, and she wasn't supposed to be there with Hunter. She
So
was
you're
taking
saying
Hunter home.
when Allie says that Summer was in the car when she brought Hunter home?
Oh, Allie, no,
that's a lie.
Lied. No, and then if you go back and look on YouTube, she already admitted that was a lie. That was a big fat lie. She's a big fat liar. She was like not following Hunter's probation at all. She let him do whatever the fuck he wanted to do with Candus and whoever he wanted to do it with. She didn't give a shit. She was too fat and lazy, sleeping in her bed, on the toilet, whatever the hell she was doing, but she wasn't watching her kid. I'm telling you, that was a lie. So what happened is she was taking Hunter home, and so her timeline is screwed up, and when she says she don't want to talk about it because, I already told the TVA, everybody knows if I tell it, this is the perpetrator, fuck that. No, you don't want to tell the truth.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If Candus is completely innocent, like you're saying, then why all the fuck shit? Why all the
Well, let me tell you why. But it's going to come out now. Let me tell you why. It's about ready to come out. Let me tell you why. Because she was afraid to lose her boys. But now the boys don't want to come home. So Candus has nothing else to lose, right? It's going to come out. Let me tell you the truth. It's coming out. You guys all watch. It's coming out. Candus lied about the timeline, and she was scared. But now she has nothing else to lose. And Don, the guilt is eating them up alive, and they're coming out. They had nothing to do with this little baby going missing. It's not them. It's not them. And we've already turned these people into the TBI over and over, and nobody's listening. And we keep sending like video proof and proof. This is not them. They didn't do it. It's not them. It's the Crawfords. They need to look closer, and they need to look at these people that we're sending like the proof. This guy like has pictures of like keeping them stuck and stealing their babies. Like he talks about this code and all this weird shit. He's talking about the jailhouse code. Like when they go to jail, they write letters and codes to each other and shit. This guy, and I don't know how I could put his name out there without getting in trouble. In my opinion, it's Philip. I don't know how to. I'm not.
Yeah, don't worry about his name. Just send it to me in my Facebook.
All right, but he's from Rowan Mountain. I'm telling you, and there's a video of this guy living in the woods and talking about stealing kids and all this bullshit and keeping them like in an Amish school almost, like it's called the Isaiah House. He calls it like this religious house. And I swear to God, our family does not believe that they're.
Now, why would somebody in Candus's family mention Isaiah House while Gavel and Krama are taking in donations for Isaiah House? Who remembers me going over Isaiah House? The production, what Isaiah House is, because we're going to have to go over that again. Isaiah House is a nonprofit organization in Greenville, Tennessee. That's where it started. They have chapters in Pennsylvania, in Texas. I'm looking for something. They started out with a big movie production. They had a whole TV show done on them. They're a religious group that got government grants and collects money from people like you to park their asses next to DHS, CPS buildings. They're unlicensed professionals that come in and remove people's children, put them in their car, and then take them to their place on a volunteer basis. Unsupervised. There's something wrong with Isaiah House, in my opinion. Strange she would mention that.
Guilty. Honestly, God, they're not. And we think that these people honestly took Summer and on mistake. It wasn't not the intended target. Marlena's daughter, Journey, was actually, that's why Marlena was freaking out. Summer was not the one that was supposed to be gone. It was supposed to be Journey. And everybody's like, oh, she was gone 2 to 3 minutes. No, she wasn't. She was gone 2 to 3 hours. And that's why.
So what else is Candus lying about? Because you said the timeline is wrong, that Allie lied.
That's it. No, that's it. And Allie.
So while she was gone, what do you think happened?
She took Hunter home, and they came up on that hill and got that baby. That's honest to God what happened. And if you look at like the FBI evidence and the TBI and the LE evidence, nothing. Why have they not arrested them? Because they didn't do it. And the digital evidence proves it on the phone and their GPS and all that stuff. They did not do this. This was not them. This was done to them. And they're not listening to the people that we think in our hearts did this. And if you look Spider up, I'm telling you, you Google the Times Herald, June 15th, 2021, and look at Stephen's record, Spider, you'll see he was arrested at 2 o'clock that morning.
Okay, somebody asked, how did the 110 address get mixed up?
It didn't get mixed up. That was because she was staying there. It did not get mixed up.
So when she called the police on Spider, she called from 110 Ben Hill Road.
No, she didn't call the police on Spider, though. It wasn't her. She didn't do it. She did not call the police.
No, I'm saying Spider. Melina called the police on Spider, right?
No. There was an anonymous tip. It was anonymous. Whoever called, what I'm trying to tell you is Spider got the drugs from this dude in Rowan Mountain, okay?
Uh-huh.
And the dude he got the drugs fronted from is the one that had this arranged. It was not the Wells, I'm telling you. And if you look at the...
That would be Mountain Guy. Fred accused him of setting Fred up and putting Fred in jail when we found out it was, what was the guy's name? Eversole or something. It started Everly, Jeff Everly. But Fred accused Mountain Guy, who was busted in a bust a few years back. But this is who they're speaking of. Names that should have been brought out years ago that haven't been.
Son of a bitch online, which we have done, and we've sent it to the TBI, the FBI, the LE, and we're telling them, look at this guy. He's talking about stealing babies. He's talking about being this great drug dealer, blah, 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 and keeping them stuck and stealing their kids. And
you gave all this information to TBI?
We did, and they're not listening. They're not listening to us because they think we're like stupid hillbillies or something. They're not listening. They won't listen. And we're trying to tell them, listen, somebody called in on Spider, and it wasn't us. And his people took retaliation on the Wells, trying to get back at the Crawfords. And it wasn't us. It had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, but you think somebody's going to come, because you told them somebody's going to come take your kid? I mean, that's a little extreme, don't you think? For snitching on somebody?
No. How much do you think that he had on him? How many kilos do you think he had on him?
What, when they busted him?
Yeah. Look it up. It's all right there. It's all.
I mean, how many kilos did he have? Just save me the trouble. You can tell me.
No, go ahead. No, look it up. He had guns. He had drugs. He had a backpack full of shit. Not only that, but the people came from West Virginia, but he had information on the Isaiah house. He had information on their whole racket that they had going in Rowan Mountain over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, look it up. He's still in freaking jail right now.
So if he's in jail, he couldn't have done it. So but you're saying his people done it?
Spider didn't take it. No, Spider did not take her. But I'm telling you, the guy that he was working for, he did it. I'm telling you right now, that man, Philip, did it. And with my whole heart, as I'm sitting here breathing, I swear to God, hand to God, I believe that man did it.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Paulson, and I'm the founder and executive director of Isaiah 117 House. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you today. I wish I could be there in person. I'm actually in Dayton, Ohio, where we are launching our 9th state. So thank you so much for allowing me to submit a video. Just to give you a little background into Isaiah 117 House, this ministry has come out of lived experience. When my husband and I first attended foster care classes in 2014, we didn't know about Removal Day. We didn't know that it was one of the most traumatic days a child would ever walk. We didn't understand that they've just lost everything. Their mama, who they will always love, their home, possibly their brothers and sisters, possibly their school, their pets. Every aspect of this child's life has come crashing down. And the standard across this nation, not just where I live in Carter County, Tennessee, and not just in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but in Texas and Florida, California, is that child in that traumatized state goes to an office, a sterile, cold office to await placement. And what I also didn't know about Removal Day is that placement takes a while. They want to first try to find a family member, and rightfully so. And so they've got to go through all the different family members, or a kinship placement of some time, maybe a teacher or a coach. And if none of those work out, then they need to start calling traditional foster homes. And then once they get a placement, they need to go out and check out the home. And there's so much that goes into making sure that this child is placed in a safe environment. And that can take hours. And honestly, for some of our teenagers, it can take days. And I meet these children all the time, but now
We have one here in the city next to mine. They opened up in 2023, and I want them fucking gone. They have no credentials to remove children. There's supposed to be a separation between state and religion. They are called Isaiah 117. It's a religious organization that should not be intertwined with our state and federal offices. I want them fucking gone.
they're 40 and they say, I still remember the smell of the office. Or a 27-year-old who was helping us put in countertops that said, I can still see the tile floor. I counted over and over again. And as I run into these children that are now adults, and as we learn more and more about the brain and what happens during a traumatic event, I realize this is a day they will never forget. They will never forget removal day. They will never forget their surroundings or the people they come in contact with. And that's why the mission of Isaiah 117 House is so important. We step in on that day. We step right in the middle of all that trauma, so that instead of going to an office where it's cold and sterile, or a cubicle or a conference room, they get to go to a home, like just a home. All of our homes are just on streets with all the other homes. There's no signs outside. Nobody knows that that's what it's for. It's just a home with a driveway and a basketball court and a play set out back, a couple of bedrooms.
With unlicensed people that are there on a volunteer basis that now have the authority to make children go missing and to traffic our children. This is unsafe, and it shouldn't be happening in our country.
Kitchen, it's just a home. There's nothing sterile inside. It's just comfort and love. And if you're hungry, we've got a kitchen. And if you're dirty, we have a bathtub. And if you need new things, we have closets full. It's just a home where someone greets that child and says, you are not alone. And I know that you have gone through so much today, but you're here now, and I'm listening.
Sorry, my mute was on. They only keep the children up to 72 hours, and then the children go to a foster home or a placement. They remove your children, and they keep them for up to 72 hours. She's acting like they're going to move in with her crazy eyes.
What do you need? A home. That is why it is so important to us that we remain residential. When we first started this, the first place we went was the Department of Children's Services, and shortly thereafter, Nashville. And we spoke with all the licensing departments. We spoke with the governor, who said he wants this to be the new standard for children enter foster care across the state of Tennessee. And they all agreed that we just needed to be a home, just the same as just a foster home. We didn't need to be licensed. We're not a group home. We didn't need to be called a facility, because we're not. We're not a daycare. We're just a home. And I know that this argument, this fight, this plea may sound silly, because what's the big deal? But to us, it is a big deal, because when we're zone commercial, a lot comes with that. Exit signs, parking lots with stripes drawn, sprinkler systems, and all of a sudden we don't just feel like a home. And if I'm honest, we're already fighting that on the Chambliss campus. This is the first time we've ever joined a campus. And so more than ever, we just want it to feel like you're pulling up to a home. And so that's why we're asking you to please consider zoning us residential. The second reason that we're so adamantly trying to get this past residential is we're a nonprofit. And we do not open our doors unless we are debt-free with a fully funded first year's budget in the bank. We've done that 11 times and counting, and that is a non-negotiable. And a lot of the things that are asked of us on a commercial zoning cost more money. It's already hard enough to build a house right now, and it just means more time and more money that we could spend on the kids, money that we could spend on their needs, and time that we don't have. Because I promise you, there are children in your office today. And the third reason that this is so important to us is we don't want to set a precedent that we're commercial. So far, 9 of our 11 homes are zoned residential. 1 is a commercial with a special, regulation attached to it. And then 1 we did have to go commercial. And it broke our heart because every time we're zoned commercial, that means we could be zoned it again. We're not a commercial facility. We're a home for children who feel very forgotten. When they walk in our home and they say, "Who lives here? Who lives here?" And we say, "Nobody." And they say, No, like who lives here?" And we say, "Nobody. Your community built this home for you for this day because they knew you were coming and they prepared for you. And then they walk into a beautiful home." Thank you for listening. Thank you for your consideration. And thank you for all the ways that you've already supported us and that you will support us in the future. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Has become a reality. And in the 2 months that we've been open, we've been able to love on over 30 children in just 2 months. And these are children that walk through the door broken and tired and scared and dirty and hungry. And within an hour, they've had a bath, they've had a meal, they're laughing, they're playing, they feel the love in this home. And I just believe it's because of the community support and everyone that is, given to this. Every county in the state of Tennessee needs this option for children to be loved on.
One of the best things I think about this house that I've seen is that idea of just how a little bit of love can change someone's day. Something I've thought about that is so cool about this house, because a kid comes on what might be, and probably the worst day of their life that they've maybe known so far, and they come here with that heaviness on them, and like you said, within an hour or two, their whole day is different, and they leave here. Some of them might say it might have become the best day of their life, because it might have been the best few hours of love that they've experienced.
And the hope would be that one day, that moment in time, and I've seen it, I've seen sparks of it, that God takes that moment and not just the trajectory of that day, but of their future, in the sense that the way the system is set up now, everything about the system says to that child, you've done something wrong. You have to leave your home, you have to leave all your belongings, and you have to sit in this office till we decide what to do with you. Every part of that message says that you've done something wrong. We want to change that message, and we are. Like, the message now is you have done nothing wrong. You are loved, and this is happening to you, not because of you. And what that might do for their future if they come into this understanding that it's not their fault.
A child here recently, a teenager who was coming in with a horrible day. The only family she knew had passed away, and she came here alone.
They just go into people's homes remove their children at DHS's requirements, at CPS's laws. CPS goes to them, asks them to take their car, remove your children, and take them to an insecure place with volunteers. Anybody could be there with your children. In the very first hours, these children are vulnerable. Imagine what can be happening to children in their facility. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's not safe. Hold on, let's go back. A whole production. Money collected, free cars.
Hello, welcome to the Carter County Isaiah 117 House. My name is Jody, and I'm one of the program coordinators here at the Carter County House.
My name is Corey Payne, and I am the other program coordinator here at the Carter County House. Welcome to our home. We are just so thankful. Everything that you see here is all because the community loves and supports the children in Carter, Johnson, and Unicoi counties. This is our living.
They've moved to Sullivan County. That's the one Crama and them donated for. They're up here in Butler County, Pennsylvania. They're down in Texas. They're in Ohio. They collect and collect and collect and collect and collect donations. 24 hours a day, they pay themselves. Rhonda and her husband live in a big, lavish, beautiful home with new Mercedes. I don't know if it's a Mercedes. They have beautiful cars. They've had cars donated to them. While they also collect from government grants, not separating state from religion, which is a law in our country. Why isn't it not being followed? Why do these people have permission to take our children out of our homes? They're unlicensed, unregistered. Any one of them can be an SAer. They don't have credentials. They didn't go to school to remove your children. The Wells' children probably went there. Probably why Gavel and Crama donated to them. Well, they collected at the vigil. All right.
Hand to God.
And he did that because of a drug debt, because his drugs got knocked off.
He did it because he was busted, and they had information regarding his operation.
All right, somebody told me to ask you, do you think Summer is alive?
I don't. I honest to God don't. You know why? Because I think she was too much of a liability at that point. I think they had to I think they cut their losses, and I think, I don't want to start crying, but honest to God, I don't think that they kept her. I think that they got rid of her because they realized that they made a mistake.
Yeah, and I don't know how I would look up Spider because I don't know his last name.
No, I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on. I can tell you. You just give me 10 seconds. I'll tell you. 1 second. Hold on. I got all of it. No, his name.
Or you can just shoot it to me on Facebook, like I said, and I'll look into it.
I've never listened to. I don't even know your name. I've never listened to your show before.
Oh, okay. Well, how did you find me?
I just looked up live on YouTube, and you popped up.
Oh, okay. And it just happened to be something you knew all about that you happen to be family with.
Well, no. I just happened to see you were talking about Summer Wells. I'm like,
oh, okay. Okay.
I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to tell you. June 15th, 2021. I'm doing it right now. Hold on.
Okay.
I know you think I'm nuts, but I'm not. It's in the Times Herald.
Okay, Ziggy's in the room. I got you. She says, look up this article by Newsbreak called 4 Arrested After Large Quantity of Meth.
Yep, that's
Numerous
it.
guns seized from Churchill
Ziggy.
residents.
I love Ziggy. Yep, Ziggy's right. That's it. She's right. I'm telling you.
So Don and Candus was tied into those people, which was Marlena, and Marlena was tied into Spider.
Marlena, yeah. It was not done directly. It was by accident. I'm telling you, this was by accident. They were not tied in directly to them. That's the heartbreak about the whole situation.
So then what would make some people go after them? I mean, what would make them think the Wells were involved there, where they would have to go kidnap Summer?
Where, if I can tell you, that's where they stayed. That's where she spent a majority of her time. She was like there all the time. And that's the only thing. They didn't mean to take her to hurt her or kill her or anything. They were using her as collateral. And then all of a sudden it blew up. And they're like, oh, fuck, we got the wrong person. We got the wrong victim. We got the wrong person.
So nobody at the house. The Grandis was asleep. The kids didn't see nothing. I mean, what, did they come into the house?
Oh, they did. No, listen, the kids did see something, though. Here's the thing. When Candus went to the door and said, hey, Wyatt, watch Summer. You don't say that for 2 seconds, right? You say that when you're leaving. Hey, watch your sister, and get in your car and leave. And Gramps even said, I hate even calling her that. We call her, that's Candus, and we call
Candy.
Grandma. Listen, we call Grandma Candy, okay? So I don't like to call her Grandis. I feel it's very disrespectful. So Candy was sleeping in her trailer, and she heard Candus leave. And she'll tell you that I heard her leave. She was leaving to take Hunter home. And her timeline don't make sense because it's not true what she's telling. And that's why they look guilty. Her timeline does not make sense because she left. And when she left, that's when it happened.
But what I'm saying, then what did the boys see? Was Summer, if Summer was inside with the boys, how did the people get in the house and grab Summer without the boys seeing it? And why didn't they take the boys?
No, listen, Summer went outside. And if you listen to what Ronnie Lawson says, and I have this interview, he says, the boys said Summer was last seen walking out of the house and Summer left the home. Summer went outside and they got her outside. It wasn't like they didn't know the boys were inside. They didn't go inside the house. I'm telling you, they took Summer. She went outside to play and they grabbed her because they thought she was Journey. I swear to God, as I'm breathing, they thought she was Journey and she wasn't Journey. And when they realized she was Summer, I think they did something bad to her. I really do. I honest to God do. I swear to God, I think they did something bad to that little girl. And I wish with every fiber of my being that I'm not right. And I pray I'm not right, but I think I am. I think they did something very bad to that little girl because they thought she was not Summer. They thought she was Marlena's kid.
What do you mean you said did something really bad to that little girl?
I think they killed her.
Oh, you think they did something bad? I thought you said, I think I did something bad to that little girl.
Not me. No, honey. I'm a hillbilly. Listen to me very carefully. I'm a hillbilly. Sometimes I can talk and it don't, no, not me. I would never, ever, ever do anything bad to a child, ever. I worked in public schools. I retired from a public school. No, I would never, ever, ever do anything bad to a child. I have 6 grandchildren myself. I'm an older lady. I would never harm a child, not me. They did something bad to that little girl, I think. In my heart, I believe that they did something bad to that little girl. And our family, when we sit around and talk about this is what we think happened. We think she wasn't the target that was supposed to be. And when you hear Jody Sue and Andy and all that bullshit and all the fucking shit in the holler, that's all drama bullshit that takes away from Summer. Summer wasn't supposed to be gone. It wasn't Summer they were after. We, honest to God.
Now, in that article, that Newsbreak article that Ziggy was talking about.
Do you see it?
No, I haven't seen the article. I haven't looked it up. But you saying Steven is Spider?
Yep.
Okay, so I can find the 4 people that were arrested. Go by Steven, and that would be the Spider guy.
Right. But let me tell you, Steven's dealer is in Rowan Mountain, and he's not in the article. He's not mentioned. And I turned this into the TBI, and I turned it into, like, nobody listens to us. They think we're freaking hicks from the right and back. And let me tell you, and I can relate it back to Candus as well too. It's the Mendenhall. I can tell you. So if you look up that. Yeah, you look that up, and I've got it all screenshots of all of her friends, and I'm telling you right now. And him and Spider were connected, and that's a connection to the Wells. But they weren't the target. I'm telling you right now, they were not the target. The target was a.
So you saying the drug man's mad over a debt because his man got busted with drugs? He blamed it on Melina. Went to kidnap Melina's daughter, but accidentally got Summer Wells.
I think he was trying to scare her. I'm trying to tell you, I think they were trying to scare her, and I think they wanted payment because that shit got interrupted. And it wasn't only that, like $5 or $10 worth. There was a large amount of drugs and guns. That man had guns.
remember Rick Crawford's first arrest? The people he was arrested with? The large quantity of pew-pews that they found? That's proof that this lady's telling the truth. I don't know if she's related to Candus, but she has a lot of personal details. I don't believe it's Lisa. This is scary to me, and it's what I think. And you hear her speak about things that I've researched that nobody else has. I researched it prior to her speaking about it. I believe this call took place in 2023. I'd have to go to Dolly's and look. I brought out Earl Taylor in 2021. It was some of my first work. I think that what this lady's saying, whether she's related to Candus or not, she has inside information and it's worth listening to.
Do you live out there in the holler?
My parents do.
Okay.
My parents do. And if you know my last name, you'd be like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. We're right there. Nope. I'm nowhere near there. I'm hours away. I live in a different state. But I'm telling you, I know, I believe my people. I believe my family. And we talk about this shit. And I'm telling you, nobody's listening to us. They were not supposed to, Summer wasn't supposed to be the girl. And if you look at this idiot, I don't know how to get you the information, but I'd love to give you his name.
Yeah, I mean, you can email me. It's real easy. My email.
All right.
She starts out saying she's Candus's cousin. Then she goes on to say, if you knew my last name, you would shit yourself. I'm going to bet a Morlock or a Renfro or somebody like that. Dykes. Crawford. So now she's not Candus's cousin. But we also have to keep in mind, Marcos lived in Tennessee and was also related to Candus. They frequented flea markets together. And he's on the RSO list.
Well, tell me, can you put it up on your screen so I can screenshot it?
Yeah. My mods will type it up real quick. JimmyJams757@gmail.com. Mods, post that up in a link in for me.
Twister, the problem is some criminals just don't give a fuck. Sometimes people think they're so big that they have the right to take things that don't belong to them in the form of payment. It's been done before. There's even been, who remembers the Lindbergh case? Their child was taken and they were huge politicians. It happens.
And then she can
I have no idea
screenshot it.
what your damn name is. I just went to live and I seen $10. I'm like, all right.
The name is, they call me Dolly. Dolly.
All right, Dolly. I'm telling you, I've reached out to Josh and he blew me off. I reached out to what the hell? I think his name's Doug. He blew me off. Well, first I reached out to Chris, and he's like with I don't know, the behavior panel.
Yeah, the Cold Case Foundation.
Yeah. And I'm like, listen, here's what
there you go.
Our cousins, here's what we think happened. And he's like, oh, yeah, like they blew us off like we were dumb hicks or something. I'm like, no, I'm trying to tell you people. And we turned in this gentleman's name. And I sent all this screenshots that I have where he's talking about stealing children and splitting up 8 balls and selling 8 balls and kids. And
can you send some of that over to the email I got posted on?
See, I think, and it's okay to think that. I welcome everybody's opinions, but I think differently. I think it's rural. There's not many houses around. Nobody would see somebody sneaking up into the woods, especially if it's somebody who knew the Wells. And I think that the person, if Summer was taken, I think the person that would have taken her would have been somebody familiar because dogs didn't bark. I think it would have been a familiar abduction. Somebody who knew the area, that frequented the wells all the time, that wouldn't have looked out of place, if that makes sense. Somebody Summer knew.
Right now, see it says jimmyjam757@gmail.com.
Wait 1 second. I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. Jimmy Jam 757. Right. Hold on. Let me get on my email and I'm going to do it right now as we're speaking. So, you know, I'm not full of shit. Because I know this has got to be a lot for you.
And what are you sending over?
Well, I'm going to send you all my screenshots of all this bullshit about Spider and the person I think that is responsible in Rowan Mountain. And I had a video I sent to Don B. And he's like, yeah, this is a guy walking through the woods. I'm like, no, he's walking through fucking railroad tracks, over rivers and tunnels, and talking about hiding bodies and shit. What's the matter with you? This is a guy, like, you know.
And he's connected to Spider, which is connected to the girl, you said.
Yes.
And do you have any way to show that they're connected?
Well, look at his friend list.
Okay.
757, right?
Yep.
At Gmail?
Yep. Yeah, she said she told TBI.
I did. I already did. I already turned all this into TBI. But they don't tell us shit, right? They don't tell us anything. Okay, screenshots, because I got screenshots of this shit. 3,900 of them.
3,900. Well, don't send me all those.
No, I'm going to send you some right now where these are the people I think are directly related to this dipshit. I have like all these messages. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get, and I've got like, and I hate to say this, but my kid's a cop, so I have him run a lot of these names. I'm like, give me this information. So I got all their like criminal history and shit, because they scare me. Like, I think that they did something to Summer. Okay, so you're going to receive a lot. This is Candus's friends list, okay? And this will show you how they're related, if you will like look at that.
Okay.
So you're going to receive a lot of attachments here, because there's like, she got like 400 friends. But if you look, and I'm going to send you the name privately of who and how they're related, and I'm going to show you right here how they're connected through this one individual. And let me tell you something about this guy. He was homeless, and then he was living under a bridge. 2 weeks after Summer went missing, the MFer paid cash for his house. Now, how do you do that?
Well, if he was living under a bridge, then how was he the dope man?
Listen, you know how he was? He was. I'm telling you. They effed up. He had this partner, and they were living under a bridge, and they got with this Philip guy. I'm telling you right now, and I'll send you the address. It's 725, and I'll send you the address. And this asshole paid cash for this house 2 weeks after Summer went missing. You can look it up.
Also, Stephanie, if not that direction, Dawn went to the shed first, and the boys were already at the shed. He's seen the boys at the shed, which to me indicates that Summer goes down to the shed to play often. That's right on Beach Creek Road. Anybody can pull over and take a child. Follow a child. That's a main road where that shed is. Just a thought.
I'm telling you, God's honest truth as I'm breathing. Ziggy, she knows. Ziggy, you're gonna do some searching here, Ziggy. But when I'm telling you, girl, is the truth.
I still ain't got your email yet. It takes a little bit of time.
Hold on, I'm still adding shit. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, I added that. It's okay. Let me just send this a little bit to you. There's 80 of them. Oh shit.
Ziggy says she is looking into it.
Okay, look at I'm trying to send you 80 things at one time. Oh gosh, how can I do that? This is add. Yeah, I want to add 80 things. I don't know. 73. Okay. Here, how about if I just do this? I'm gonna send you the names. How about this?
Okay, whatever works for you. All right, let's see.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm just gonna send this right now.
Sorry.
Okay, so I tried to send like 75 things, and I don't think it worked. So let me try to send. Let me know if you got that one I just sent with the names. And I'm gonna send you something else. What their names are.
I haven't got it yet.
Let
me make sure it didn't go into my spam folder or nothing.
Do you know how she reacted when her daughter went missing Candy, and then she's acting the same way with Summer? She's innocent. I'm telling you, they're not great parents. I'll give you that, but they're innocent. I'm telling you, they're innocent.
All right, I think I just got it.
If this is true, they're innocent to an extent because they surrounded themselves with these type of people. We hear Dawn say Candus made the wrong friends. We see that with people like Crystal Spencer, lots of addicts around their family. That's who they surround themselves with, not church people. The church is a new thing.
Okay, yeah, I got the names.
Okay, now listen, I'm going to send you what their street names are, okay?
Okay. And
all right. So,
and these are the dudes in Virginia?
Yep.
Okay.
No, they're in Rowan Mountain. They're right down their damn road from Rogerville.
Oh, okay.
They're right there.
Okay.
No, when you look up their names, I'm going to send you their addresses, the 725 address, and I'm going to send you some pictures that are no. He deleted this thing off of Facebook, but I screenshotted it and I sent it to the TBI, where he talks about keeping them stuck. He says keep them stuck and still their children and the Isaiah house, and how they put kids in like the Isaiah house and homeschool them after they steal them, and about drugs and splitting up balls. This guy is nuts. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. When you see what
I would definitely look into it.
Yeah. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send you attachments. So I'm glad you got that, and thank you for listening to me, and thank you for taking the time. And Ziggy, thank you. We appreciate you, and we're glad to see her back.
Okay, so I got your email, so I know how to get a hold of you.
All right, thank you.
You be good.
You too.
All right, peace.
All right, bye-bye.
It was either my channel or Prayer Garden's channel where Marlena had said Candus, or maybe it was even Lips's, some interview Marlena did out here. She said that Candus called her first while she was looking for Summer. Could Marlena have said, please keep your mouth shut? Candus was with Marlena often. Marlena lived on the hill. Dawn didn't like Marlena being on the hill. Now, I've spoken to Marlena. Do I believe Marlena had anything to do with it? No, but you got to look at the people Dawn and Candus surrounded themselves with. There's a very high probability that one of them could have had a drug debt. Fred, Marlena. We hear Fred very early on. One of the first interviews with Ziggy state that he used to run coke for Rick Crawford. Dawn used to paint when he first moved. He would paint and do drywall for Rick Crawford. Dawn has known the Crawford since he moved in the 90s to Rogersville, Tennessee the first time. Those are the things I pay attention to, the connections. I listen for stuff like this to come out, no matter who this is. She wanted to keep her identity safe, but could it be this person knows things? I was already researching this shit when she came out. Krama had already donated to Isaiah 117. And Renfro had already written me about Spider. This lady just collaborated my research. That's why I meant to talk about this so long ago, but I never did. I forgot. I'm really happy Killer posted this. Thank you, Killer. And thank you for allowing me to share it, because I did leave you a comment. You left a heart, and I assumed that meant yes. But all right, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to go make some content for later tonight. It's early. It's only noon. So I'm going to go figure out my day. I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas and enjoyed my content. Give me a like. Pesamore. Peace and love. People are forgetting all about the dogs. Yep. Very right, Josie. Why do the boys go to the shed first, not Dawn? Why do the boys go to the shed? Dawn seen the boys and pulled into the shed. Pay attention to his words. Put them in order. They went to the shed because that's probably where the kids were prior. That's probably where Summer played often. All right, guys. I'll see you all later tonight at some point, hopefully. Bye. Oh, I did have something else to go over. We'll go over tonight. The recent happenings. I wanted to go over some Jody Sue and some Ziggy, but we'll do that tonight. I'll put it into my content because this ran a little longer than I wanted it to. So that'll be my content tonight. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.